Okay, today is a very great day, and I want to do two things. First is to thank God that friends from Australia have assisted Ugandans to put up a theater. Secondly, I would like to thank the friends and people of Australia and all over the world who have contributed a lot towards the construction of the medical theatre here in Uganda.
Edward had arranged an amazing day. Everyone was there. The tent was up, decorations, ribbons, all these sorts of things. And all of the widows arrived in their UACO dresses that they had made.
Our Judy, you are welcome at UACO. Everybody here is full of joy. Go ahead with your work and pray for us.
And they're blue and white. And so they always wear them when it's a formal occasion. And the thing that got me the most was I found Persis in the office, and she hadn't been there for 3 months because she had been so ill. And so it was lovely to see her. And then we just walked in together, Persis and I. And because she was really frail, I had her arm through mine. And everyone was on their feet. And they were all clapping and crying out and ululating, and I just cried because there was us two older women that had just worked together all this time, and the end was coming for both of us because she obviously couldn't keep on working for much longer, although she did come back to work for a little while. And I thought, this is amazing. This white lady from Australia and this black lady from Uganda, very similar in age, both with a love and a heart for Uganda, and all these people just loving us. No, I had to get the tissues out. I lost it. They know that Mama Jude gets the wriggle on when the music starts. We had the drama group, and it's really come out of the foul class as well. I mean, everyone in Africa dances. I've got little kids out there that can barely stand on their legs, but they hear drums going and they start to wriggle. And I'm sure they wriggle in the womb, but they're amazing, and you have to dance. And of course, you know, Paulina came to me and she got me up, and I don't know that you should actually put that footage on. You know, everybody was just home again. It was wonderful.
Tuli byakwano bammwe ate mutuyisanga abaana bammwe kubanga omuntu okuyima eyo mayiro obwesedde n'obwesedde n'otuuka eyo ate n'obeera eyo n'olowooza kuffe naddala abantu abaddugavu.
We gave out over 600 treated mosquito nets, and we educated everybody in how they had to be cared for. Well, you know, the level of malaria just dropped that year. I mean, the mosquito nets are probably worn out by now, but it was amazing to see that. Our ability to do the immunisations, you know, that started out in my first year there with 47 the first week, and now we do in excess of 12,000 a year. And last month alone, it was nearly 1,500. People know we have a reputation, not just for giving their baby a shot, but we have a reputation for educating them when they come. So the mamas come, and a lot of the dads are coming now too, because they want to learn about family planning. They've heard this, and they're starting to plan their families, and I think it's fabulous.
Iwako ennyambye okweyimirizaawo mu bulamu obwa bulijjo. Nayagala yampa okusoma nennemu olw'amaaso. Nunda embizi, nunda embuzi, ebyo byonna nnyambibwa okuva mu UACO nga tubalooni.
2 years ago, when I said to Edward, I will help you build the theatre, I thought we were going to build a fairly small building with a couple of wards and that would be fine. But in my absence, it's become what I call the Rolls-Royce of theatres. It is an amazing building. It's 2-storey. It has 2 theatres upstairs, a recovery room, and all those sorts of things, doctors' rooms, nurses' rooms, patient rooms. And downstairs, it's all single rooms. We have a paediatrics, 2 rooms that are joined together. That's wonderful. We have a separate maternity section within the building with doors that close off so that it's private. And that's going to be just wonderful because where they deliver babies at the moment is pretty awful. They have a magnificent nurses' station in the centre of the ground floor, surrounded by maternity on one side, the wards on the other. It's going to be wonderful. I saw the most amazing stuff. When we got there, there was nothing on the roof of they had the two floors finished and all the brickwork done, and downstairs the windows are in and the plastering's done and the painting's been done, but upstairs it's still pretty bare. But as I was there, these 4 men started with just pieces of iron and they welded them together and they made struts. And I thought, how on earth are they going to get them up there? And I said to Edward, are you ordering a crane? He said, not yet. We will wait till 6 o'clock tonight and we'll see if they can lift them up. And if they can't, then I will order a crane. And I said, how many men are you going to use? Oh, he said, maybe 10. Well, he didn't need 10. They had 2 men on the roof with very thick ropes and about 4 men on the bottom. And they had what I would call T-shaped poles and long poles, and then they would slowly lift them up and then push from the bottom and pull from the top, push from the bottom, pull from the top, and they got them up there. I was just amazed. And they welded them up on the top as well. I thought, oh my goodness, if Australia OC Health and Safety could see this, it just wouldn't have eventuated. But they got every one of them up there. And I started taking photos of the men, which they thought was lovely. And at the end of the week, I would buy them all a soda. Well, they thought that was wonderful until I did it again the next week and they said, we'd rather have a beer. I said, I can't buy you a beer, you've got to have a soda. I mean, I just didn't know that people could be this generous. And this year, when we sent out a newsletter, because we had lost our ability to have taxation deductibility and our donations had dropped off, and we wrote a letter to all of our donors. We wrote a newsletter saying, can you help us put the roof on? We got $55,000. And you know, the roof's on. And I will never ever be able to look at that roof and not remember what happened in Australia to put it there.
I'm very grateful for it, and people of Uganda are much very grateful for that offer. The construction is not yet complete, but 3/4 of the work has been done, and we are very grateful for that. And we hope once it is completed, it will help very many poor people, very many Ugandans who have been missing this very wonderful work.
I knew this trip was going to be hard because it was my last working trip. It's time now for me to step back. It's time for me to consider my husband and my family and my own health. And I was finding it just too hard to go that distance and do the work that I was doing. I had to stop thinking that I wasn't 25 years old anymore. And I started to remember, you know, what it was like that first time in 1998. I was so scared that first day when I got there, I thought, what on earth am I doing here? And it's amazing to look back over 14 years and think, I've been out there 9 times. I mean, I know so much about Uganda now. And there's still a lot I don't know. I learn every time I go. But, you know, my husband says to me, you know, stop and think, because I get frustrated, perhaps, about what I still haven't done. And he says, look, stop and think what it was like when you first got there. And look what it is now. And think about how many lives have changed, how many lives have been saved. And that's all wonderful stuff to think about. And when I think I haven't done this yet, I do remember, but look at all those immunisations. You know, nearly 1,500 last month. That was amazing.